When the Volkswagen Golf GTI was launched in the 70s, it was quite a thing. Since then, it's had its ups and downs, with Golf 3 GTI being a particular low point. Plus, it's had to fight off competition inside the category that it created. Now, after almost 4 decades, the Golf GTI is fighting back. It seems VW have had enough of being taken on and beaten by all manner of other German car makers, as well as the French and the Japanese. Even Ford have had a successful crack at the king of the hot hatch crown with the Focus ST. The spec sheet for the new GTI makes for good reading, but you don't need to know any technical info about this car to know that Volkswagen have come out swinging. The 7th generation brought a squared-off look to the Golf with cleaner lines and a sharper overall design. The GTI treatment takes that idea and adds real aggression, without forgetting the classic GTI trademarks like the red stripe on the grille. With its LED treatment and slatted front fog lights, narrow grille and blade-like rim design, this car makes an instant impression. The unique rear lights and blacked-out C-pillar elements do their bit too, and the new GTI is bang up to date with anything the competition can offer. It is one of those cars that really has to be seen in the metal to be appreciated. Somehow, pictures don't really bring across the attitude this car has. Cars like this tend to use their interiors to emphasize their sportiness, but GTI has taken a slightly different approach. It's a lot more refined than you might expect for a car like this, with clean design and a superb layout. And it's the kind of place that isn't just useful when you feel like bashing a mountain pass. The sport seats are grippy but comfortable. The standard spec list has you covered for just about everything you need except sat-nav, and the whole execution is far superior to anything else in its class. Heated seats, keyless operation, touchscreen interface, it all adds to the sense that this car is for the discerning driver, rather than the driver who's only interested in operating the lap timer, which the GTI has too. And the engine will probably have you calling up that timer more often than you think. No doubt the stat you've all heard by now is that this car has exactly twice the amount of power as the original 1976 GTI. And now all the car nerds are calculating that this car has, yes, you're right, 162 kilowatts and 350 newton meters sent to the front wheels in our test car through a DSG gearbox. Now, that is a lot of power for the front wheels to handle, but even so, this car does a 0 to 100 time of 6.5 seconds. Top speed for our DSG test car is 244 kilometers an hour, 2 kilometers an hour down on the manual. Despite being one of Volkswagen's hooligans, the GTI still toes the company policy on economy. Exhaust gas cooling for the turbo motor, a start-stop system, reduced weight, and better aerodynamics all contribute to improved efficiency. Quite optimistically, VW says the GTI will do 6.4 liters per 100 Ks, although I doubt anyone who buys one of these cars will ever attempt to see that figure. Right from the outset, you get the impression that this is a car with a point to prove. Looks more aggressive, feels more responsive, even at lower speed. Open it up and you hear the engine has got almost a sort of Subaru flat 4 growl to it. And then when you do get the chance to discover this car's real talents, you find its only weak point. The dual clutch gearbox. It's quick, it's responsive, it has paddles that you can whack like a racing driver, but it's not a manual. As a piece of kit, there's nothing wrong with the DSG, but this car feels like it would be even more fun with a manual. At this point, I'd like to address those who've been beating down the GTI, especially since the arrival of its very competent competition over the last few years. Of course, there are people who will say it has fewer kilowatts than a Focus ST or a slower 0 to 100 time than a Megane RS, but this car has got a level of sophistication that the others just can't match. And that alone makes it more enjoyable, more so than any power stats or bragging rights. As a package, this thing is a cracker. Even its electronics are super refined. The XDS Plus system intervenes to prevent understeer and improve overall traction, but it's a seamless event, allowing you to still feel what the car can do and give you the confidence to power into the next set of corners. It takes very little time and almost no effort to get a real feeling for how good this car is. To be honest, I'd given up on GTI. They weren't bad cars, they just didn't make you salivate and look forward to the next drive as much as some of its competition did. But now, with better styling, real refinement and proper enjoyment behind the wheel, Golf 7 isn't the car that'll make you smile just when you feel like shredding your tires. It'll keep you smiling every day. The improved 2-litre turbo delivers more power more efficiently. Even with 350 Newton meters going through the front wheels, the GTI always manages to feel composed and effortless. It's the step up that the badge needed. Great looks with a sophisticated interior and genuine driving enjoyment have made this GTI an absolute winner.